How's it going, everybody? My name is JustJarrod, but you guys can just call me Jared, and welcome back to another episode of the What's Next podcast. I think this is episode 4. The plan is to do one of these a week until next launches. I missed a week, maybe 2 weeks. I did like 3 in a row. This is going to be about 45 minutes long is going to be the time frame now, because nobody wants a 2-hour and 30-minute long video. I mean, some people were like, cool, I listened to it while I was working, but then I've got like 20 dislikes on one of them. So like I understand. We'll make it shorter. That way, I don't know. We can keep conversation. We can jump between topics more often rather than sitting on one topic for 40 minutes, which I've done. But anyways, today we've got Jsweet here. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me today.
No problem. So, I have a question. We're just going to jump right into the conversation. I have a question. Do you like... Okay, today we had the pre-order bonuses for No Man's Sky for
Correct.
Xbox One. I guess leaked or announced or whatever. GameStop screwed up, probably. The exosuit. The, the exosuit, which is hilarious.
The X.
Yeah. What do you think about that exosuit?
Um, I definitely know that they're really trying to get that Xbox exclusive, like, to really stand out, I guess. I'm a PS4 player, but for Xbox players, I think that they'll be stoked for it. The exosuit in general, knowing that there's going to be an Xbox head on it, just kind of maybe shows a little sign of what the customization is going to be like,
Yeah.
or what kind of suits you're going to have. So that kind of is what made me most excited about seeing it was, all right, well, there's probably going to be a lot of types of suits you can collect if it's going to be that drastic towards Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want a PS4 head, but
Yeah. I mean,
but you know what I mean.
if there isn't, we're just gonna see like everybody's just gonna have the Xbox head. I mean, there's got to be at that point, or everybody's gonna be running around with the Xbox.
How many pre-orders do you actually think is going to take place for Xbox?
I don't. I have no idea. Like we were actually before the recording of this, I just told you I was talking to Semtex and Sword. Shout out to those guys, and we were talking about the community of the game, and I don't think the community of No Man's Sky is big. I think it's super small, definitely compared to any other gaming community, really. I don't know how many people play the game. I wish I could tell. I mean, I think you can look at Steam how many people are playing, but
Right.
I don't know how many people Xbox wise are excited, because most of the people that follow my channel obviously are current players.
Correct.
And I have a few people who comment and they're like, yeah, been a fan and been wanting to play, but I've only had an Xbox. But I don't think we'll really see the magnitude of people on Xbox that want to play until some official news like is dropped and like the media starts covering it, or a trailer's dropped and we get people responding to it. Because right now the only news is coming through Waking Titan, which is then filtering through the YouTubers, which is then filtering to mostly current players.
Right.
So I hope, like, because I mean, if you just like common sense, it could very well double the community, because most people play on PlayStation right now, and it's a whole new console, so it could double the community. I think there's more PlayStation players than Xbox players, because I think PlayStation's doing a better job console wise. Maybe not after E3, because E3 Microsoft this year blew it out the water, but
Right.
and Sony's conference was a little strange to me, but that's besides the point. I don't know, as far as I don't know about pre-orders. Pre-orders is another thing. I don't think people, like, if I were skeptical about No Man's Sky because I heard what happened at launch and I heard that it was releasing on my system and Xbox, I would be skeptical because they still haven't said what's new with this update. So why would I pre-order it?
Very true. And plus, people are very against pre-orders in general nowadays, with how games overhype
Yep.
and how everything's kind of released in terms of like DLC and with most AAA games. So people are kind of against pre-orders anyway. So that's going to hurt pre-orders for No Man's Sky even more, just knowing the reputation from No Man's Sky. And so when it comes to pre-orders, I used to love pre-ordering. I used to pre-order games all the time. Now it's super rare. It's super rare. So
I just went to
I don't think there's gonna be a
GameStop.
lot.
I just went to GameStop today and canceled 2 pre-orders.
Oh really?
Well, I canceled. I had 3 pre-orders, but I canceled them because I had only had like $20 on one and like 5 on the other. Canceled all 3 and just moved it all to Assassin's Creed because I just can't wait for the Assassin's Creed, and they're going to like doing Greek mythology. I just can't. I can't wait for that. So I
Odyssey did look good. It did.
And I liked the last Assassin's Creed. I didn't play through the entire thing, but I pushed it to that. I canceled. The guy at the GameStop, I was like, I need to cancel my Spider-Man pre-order. He was like, what? You're canceling your Spider-Man pre-order? I was like, I can't do it, dude. I'm honestly not a fan, that much of a fan of Spider-Man as a character. So playing a Spider-Man game, it's just, I need a game that has like loot or progression, and I feel like that's just going to be like an action story, and then, I don't know. I might get it after it's out, but I canceled that pre-order, and I canceled, I don't know, something else I had pre-ordered. But I tend to pre-order, like, I don't know, I don't buy a lot of games anymore, because if I do, I don't make videos. I just play games. Like, I'm stuck on, I've been stuck on Destiny, I've been stuck on Rocket League. I've been stuck on Rocket League for 3 years.
Dude, yeah, you have.
Yeah, I still
been on Rocket League for forever.
I still play it. They're updating the game nonstop, and and I talk about progression. I know we're getting off topic a bit here, but I talk about progression and Rocket League this year. They're adding, how Fortnite has the Battle Pass? They're adding a Rocket Pass to Rocket League.
Are they really?
They're adding a whole new XP system with unlimited leveling. Like, that's just going to kill it.
Lots of people are piggybacking off of Fortnite's ideas.
Yeah. So
Law called it the Fortnite effect.
Yeah, I've seen this video. Yeah, Fortnite effect.
Yeah.
But as far as pre-orders go, like, I was gonna pre-order. I went to GameStop today with the mindset that I was gonna cancel my Spider-Man pre-order and pre-order No Man's Sky on Xbox One, even though I don't own an Xbox One.
You're the collector, right?
Yeah. Well,
collect all the versions.
Well, L Plays collects everything. I don't have the money like L Plays does.
Oh man, didn't he? Oh, I don't remember what post that he posted, but on how much he has, but he posted the number of how many copies he has.
Yeah.
And it was, even though I can't remember the number, I was like, whoa. Yeah. He's like, I just want them all.
Yeah, and I mean that's cool. I wanted the cool new box art for the Xbox One, but when I got in there, I'm like, is this really worth it? $60? It's just gonna be sitting, like, maybe, or well, $50, whatever it may be.
Just buy a used returned if you want the box that bad.
Right, exactly, yeah. So I'm sure there will be used returns just like at launch, to be completely honest. But
$25-$30 or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, so I kind of held off, and that was like, maybe I'll buy it and then like do a giveaway. But then you get the problem, like, how do you know the person you're giving away doesn't already have it? And I'm just like, I don't want to go through all that junk.
True. And plus, if you pre-order it, most likely you can't get that content if you redeem the code. But then again, you don't have an Xbox.
Exactly. Yeah. So, exactly. I wish if I could afford an Xbox One X and No Man's Sky next, I would totally do that. If I had a 4K, I don't have a 4K TV, so if I could afford all of that, obviously I would do it. If I could comfortably afford it.
That's quite the upgrade to have.
Yeah.
Another game that you already have on PC and PS4, right? Don't you have them on both?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a lot for three platforms.
Probably not worth it in retrospect. But if I was super rich, why wouldn't I? I mean,
isn't that the dream?
Yeah, exactly. YouTube, where's my money? Actually, YouTube sent me some money today. And I went out and I bought everybody's merch, like L Plays shirt, Legacy Zero
Oh
shirt.
yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that on
Yeah.
that Teespring that you guys use,
Yep.
and I was like, man, that's cool.
Yep.
And I honestly just came across it a couple days ago, so I'm gonna have to order some stuff once I get some extra cash.
Yeah.
Start repping some gear from everybody,
Yeah.
because I'm definitely down for supporting everybody, and especially in the No Man's Sky community that just have a passion for the game.
Right.
Like I love collecting mugs and wearing
Oh, yeah.
hoodies and all that stuff, especially for streams and stuff. So I definitely want to do that
Yeah.
at some point.
I
I'm ready
didn't.
to list. I'm going to make a list of who all has it.
Yeah. I don't even know.
I know you do it.
I
You
just.
just
I just.
recently
Yeah.
did that. Yeah.
Um,
So
and
L Plays does it.
I don't
Who else
know.
does
Like
it?
a lot. I don't know.
Legacy.
Cobra's got shirts somewhere. I don't know if it's through that same place, but Legacy Zero has it. There's a few other people, but I wasn't going. I was kind of hesitant on the merch thing, and I was gonna wait till I hit 5,000, and then when I hit 5,000, I really wanted to change my channel art because I wanted it to be more brand. Like if I wanted to put my name on something, it would look like it should, like clean and simple. Whereas before, I had Law's banner that he made me, which is great. But it's just there was so much going on, and it was big on No Man's Sky and Dreams themed, which is great. But in the future, if I ever feel like branching out to go anywhere else, then I would have to get my channel art changed. So
I definitely think it was a good move.
Yeah.
I like the logo personally myself, but I think that's a smart move for sure.
Yeah, I loved it. Robot Boy did a fantastic job with my intro and my channel art.
Oh, he did you? Oh, okay, great. So
Yeah.
he's the one who did that. Great, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's been pretty cool.
For future reference.
Yeah, Robot Boy. Yeah, he's definitely good. That's his business. He's a graphic designer.
Oh, okay,
So-
okay. I follow his channel and I watch his No Man's Sky videos.
His No Man's Sky videos are great too. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're really good. So
he just had that, and he just had a video where he was talking about the rarity. In No Man's
yes,
Sky.
I did watch that. That looked really interesting. I really hope that weapon class loot system is legitimate.
Yeah.
I hope it is. That'd be really cool.
And I saw that. I commented on this video, and I was like, I was thinking about making a video about this, but I seen it on the Waking Titan thing. I seen the legendary and the uncommon and the epic, and then you can toggle them on and off. And I was like, what's the point? So I went to the Waking Titan Discord, or the Game Detectives Discord, and I asked, what they're about, and they said they're something about monitoring something on the uplink satcom site, and that it means nothing, and it's not important. And I was like, well, okay, but it's just so I don't know why. I wish I would have looked into, or like been like, don't listen to these guys. Instead I was just like, fine, whatever, and I moved on, because the colors are like exactly what we see in like games.
Yeah, they
purple,
are.
which was legendary, and then epic, which was orange. And I mean,
I actually think it's flipped.
Oh.
I actually think in this case the
purple
purple
was epic.
is epic,
Okay.
and the gold is legendary. Actually,
Yeah. So I mean, that's, and then blue and green is always common or uncommon, and you got rare or whatever was on there.
the neutral color.
Yeah. So that's too like coincidental. Like it's just such a weird place for that to be. So I think it has to have some correlation with the game. Now, right now we have uncommon, common, rare, and exotic elements in No Man's Sky. So it could be talking about elements, but then we're missing legendary. We don't have legendary elements. We just have uncommon, common, rare, and exotic. But what I wish,
that's not the case, but
yeah. What I wish, if talking about rarity, if they're going to implement a different kind of rarity to like gear or loot or whatever, I think they really need to make that the rarity. Like right now, if you take Destiny 2 for example, the exotics should not be called exotics because they're so easy to get, right? Before Destiny 1, legendaries at launch were legendary because they were hard to get,
Right.
Right now, if you take the elements that have rarities, you can have exotic, whatever, they're all easy to find. They're not, or rather, pointless. Like all the exotic elements are mostly pointless. And
That's true.
Nothing is hard to find. Nothing is difficult to come across. Nothing, like if multiplayer were in the game right now, and I found some cool material that says rare on it, and I was like, hey, you want to buy this? They're like, no, it just says rare. It's not worth anything because it's easy to find. That should be completely changed if they introduce rarity in gear, or if they kind of mess with the rarity for elements. So like if you find something that says it's rare, it's actually rare, and then you can trade or sell it to somebody else who's looking for that, or it doesn't have the time to look for that and needs it for an upgrade, or you found this super cool multi-tool and it's legendary, and you can sell it or trade it with other people, then it actually is legendary. It's not something that took you 10 minutes to find, because that's generally what everything is in No Man's Sky. You can just find it if you need it. I think I don't know how really they could work that in, because I don't know if it'll be like RNG, if that could even be possible in this game. I mean, I don't know, because right now, if you stroll up to a building and there's a multi-tool in there, is that randomly generated, or is that still considered procedurally generated? That multi-tool that shows up, because all multi-tools are procedurally generated. The look of them.
Right.
But what about the placement? I'm assuming it's is that considered procedural, or is that considered random? I have no idea, but I think I like the luck factor when it comes to loot. I like the RNG factor when it comes to loot. But I like also like a certain thing being somewhere and you having to go look for it.
Right. Yeah, because when it comes to multi-tools and things like that, and you've probably seen this in some videos, if someone finds an S class, then you can just post the coordinates and you can travel and go get it.
True.
So in that case, it might actually help in terms of like content creators, because they'll be posting all these videos about where certain things are located and everyone can go get it. But then again, that takes away its rarity, that takes away its value. And that's another thing too, is like everything is rated in this game, or I guess classified in classes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to switch that in terms of rarity and turn it into, oh, this is a legendary instead of like an S class, because S class is kind of the exotic, like exotic ships and stuff like that. So I don't know. They would be completely redoing their system if those rarities are towards weapons or towards multi-tools. So I don't know. They might not even be keeping classes anymore if that's the case, and just switching everything up and how they're labeled in the game.
Yeah.
So
I think
I don't know.
I think if they're gonna switch, like if they're gonna add legendary, epic, rare to gear, then they should switch it for everything. That way you don't have S classes, or the letters meaning ships, and
that's exactly what I mean. It would change ships, it would change multi-tools.
Yeah.
And I'm actually okay with that. I would be fine with that.
Yeah, why not?
Because I want a loot based system.
Yeah.
In No Man's Sky, I want to find loot. That would keep people on planets. That would keep people searching. And to be quite honest, that's kind of my dilemma. Is if most people who do stop by my channel, or at least check it out, paradise planets is kind of all I look for now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bored with the solar planets, although some solar planets are pretty cool. If it's like super misty and like dusty, and it looks like a true desert, it's not just dried up and
red plants.
Red plants, they kind of look all the same. And that's the thing, is that I have an appreciation for all other planets, but I'm just at that point where paradise planets are the most fun to find. And so I want something to keep me on other planets,
on board with like gameplay, actual mechanics. And I don't talk about what I do on No Man's Sky, because I literally 2 years ago I knew everything there was to know about this game, even 1 year ago. And since Atlas Rises released, 2 weeks after Atlas Rises, got through the story, and then haven't played normal since then. I have lost so much knowledge. That's why I was playing, in a party chat with Semtex and Sword, because I'm asking all these questions again, because I don't remember. I don't remember how to do this or how to find crashed ships, and that kind of sucks, because I have a YouTube channel that covers the game. But I guess it's a good reason. It's a good I don't do tips videos, and I did tips videos at one point, but usually those tips videos come after recent updates because a lot of people are lost. Like when the mission system was implemented with the base building, that confused so many people. So I did a tips video on that because it was new and everybody was learning it. Now there's so many people who are like masters of the system and how to game and how to, break the system in this sort of way. Semtex and Sword were telling me, hey, if you find a crashed ship and you don't want to spend tons of units fixing the slots, just warp through a portal and fix your slots through the portal, and it only costs 1,000 units per slot. And I'm like, okay, I didn't even know that was a thing. But
I didn't either.
it is an exploit. It is an exploit, and I don't want to do that. So I've started recently a normal save, and I did start a Let's Play on the channel, which I have canceled once again, for various reasons. But I'm still playing that save, and I want to play it how I played it before, which was just doing my own thing, not worrying about how to exploit and how to make the best out of a situation. I just want to play the game, get all the upgrades and do whatever. And I think a lot of people, when I uploaded that Let's Play video, they're like, you suck at this game. And I was like, well, I only play creative because I like making time lapses and just walking around. Like, that's my game style. I like exploring, and I wish they put more things, like I've said before, procedurally generated collectibles or relics or something that you can find in caves, to make you want to explore. Not necessarily like a super dope multi-tool that's hidden in a cave, while that would be amazing. But even if it's just like a trophy, like a relic that you can pick up and put in your base and you can collect them, and maybe they add like stats to your exosuit, and there could be like socketable upgrades, and then you get into the whole loot system, which I think would be how you can, it's so hard to, like, so cool to imagine a loot system in a game this big.
I know.
And if they could somehow do procedurally generated loot, I don't even know if that's been done before. I don't even know if that's a thing that could be done. I hope there's something like that. And I think the exosuits and them being able to change or being able to have customization, I think that customization is going to come via upgrading your exosuit, as well as you being able just to change the color whenever you want and whatnot. I hope that, upgrading your exosuit gives you a visual change, and then there are more defined upgrades. Because right now you have shield upgrades, one for toxic, one for cold. You've got sprint upgrades, jetpack up. They're all basic. And then, if you have ship upgrades, they're for certain things. I want them to be more tailored. So you can, if you're going to be in a team of 4 people now, you have one person who's really, really good and really, have stats for this one specific thing. And then you have somebody
else. Kind of like one person's a healer, one person's...
Yeah, almost like that, except, just No Man's Sky it up or whatever.
Exactly, in its own way.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, too, is... say, like, I was thinking about this in terms of when you posted about, like, relics and finding trophies and those kind of things. I was like, that'd be really cool. And I think that that'd be really fun to see procedurally generated weapons. But this is the thing. I don't think PvP is going to happen very often at all.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping if they do implement weapons into the game, if there's not much PvP, what are we going to use them for? Right. And so I'm hoping, I think it was Robot Boy actually who posted about like Sentinel bosses or something like that.
It's possible. Could have been in place.
About taking out like massive Sentinels together, kind of like a boss battle, and getting loot from that. And of course, you're not going to use your multi-tool for that engagement. So I'm just hoping that if there is weapons, I don't want to find these really cool weapons and then not be able to use them.
Right.
Or, of course, they could do it with multi-tools, right? Better procedurally generated multi-tools or whatever. But that's the thing is I hope that it's useful. There's a lot of mining elements that are just for selling. And they aren't
Yeah, all those
Yeah,
rare things that you can craft. Like the whole progression loop now is to get more money faster.
right, right. And a lot of people have, like billions of units, and it's like that's wonderful. You can buy basically anything you want, but which is kind of in a trade system is buying and selling. I totally get that, but I kind of want something to spend my money on other than ships
Yep.
and freighters because I have that now,
Mm.
and I've got a freighter. It's I think it might be a B class. I can't quite remember, but it's got plenty of slots. I think it has 29 slots, and I've got two or three S class ships and a couple A classes, and like I'm not too driven to S class up everything. If I run across something, then great.
Mm.
But I'm kind of more of a slot and function type player, and which, by the way, I don't even think that you could be bad at the game. When it comes to No Man's Sky, you just play how you want to play.
Exactly. Yeah.
And honestly, when it comes down to being good at the game and people's opinion, it's usually like, okay, what exploits are you using, or what's your knowledge towards the game?
Yeah.
If you don't know about a lot of stuff, it doesn't matter in this game. Like you come across something and you learn it or whatever, and you're stoked about that. I think that there's a little bit of an integrity loss when you find out every single exploit, because then when you're doing something, you're like, I could just cut the corner and just skip over playing and just have it done.
Yeah.
And which exploits are fun to find. They are. It's like, oh, look at this. Nobody knows about this probably. But then as soon as you post it and everybody starts doing it, then hours and hours of either farming or exploration's lost.
Yeah.
And so I don't really think this is one of those games you can kind of be bad at.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just hope that there's use with anything that they add to the game. And that's the thing for me, is that when it comes to this new system and it comes to this new loot, so to say, if that's what it comes down to, I just want E3 planets. And I say that in almost all my videos. That's where I want it to go, because then I'll just get back to exploring every planet and just be super stoked just to see it in its E3 state.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the possibility of E3 planets. Everything
right.
doesn't have to look
or
like
even closer to it.
Yeah.
If it's not E3 in this next update, that's not gonna make me too upset.
You'd mentioned you don't think PvP is going to happen that much, right?
Right.
I agree. I think really people are freaking out over this PvP thing. People,
I know it's a little heavy-handed
with this whole like RP. People are role playing. People are getting angry with each other. Like, if you want to role play, go ahead and do it. Just wait till the game comes out. Don't start wars across the internet, because I think the only way you're going to be able to do PvP is if both of you are looking for a fight to find each other for that.
Right.
Like, nobody's going to be able to pinpoint you in the universe to hunt you down. First of all, if that is possible, they're going to have to be super dedicated. Because if somebody finds you, you just got to warp in one direction once, and they're screwed. Like, they're not going to chase you.
Exactly.
I don't think there's going to be like a hunt mechanic. I don't see it happening. This is where I'm kind of torn, because why put PvP in the game if killing another player doesn't get you anything, right? I was talking, I always mention L plays, because me and L plays are always talking about finding each other and going at it. If I were to take down L plays and I don't get anything for it, like, I'm done. Like, there's no point. It's like they're putting it, if that becomes the case, I feel like they're just putting it there so people don't ask for it, because if it's not there, people are going to ask for it.
I see.
So I don't...
Little safety net feature.
Yeah, so I don't quite understand. That's almost like the same thing I say about underwater or water in general. It's like the only reason they put it there is because people would be like, why is there no water? But essentially, there's no point for water except for maybe like cool screenshots. There's nothing underwater.
Even then, I don't particularly like the screenshots a whole lot in terms of underwater.
Yeah.
Man, that's such a empty sandbox.
Yeah.
It's quite the shame, actually. I want there to be more water exploration for sure. That's something I want to do. But at the end of the day, you're just like, okay, I wasted 20 minutes going in one direction.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And it takes forever to get back to land, especially if there's a lot of bodies of water and you're like, okay, I want to go there. I want to go to that next island.
Yep.
It's like, well, if you don't, obviously, if you don't craft a, which one is it that goes over?
Oh,
The Nomad?
I don't remember the names.
Nomad.
Yeah,
I think the Nomad goes over water, but I mean, I don't know. It's just, why are you going to go out that far in the distance?
You're not really, you're not really in the water when you're using your Nomad. It's just basically should be land at that point.
It'd be cool if there were like giant creatures, like giant squids and like actual size whales.
That is what I talked about before launch. I think I can't remember. It's been so long. I'm pretty sure I wanted to do a series where I just looked for underwater creatures, like huge ones, and that was the series. That was it. The reason being is because I have a fear of underwater in video games. It's a freaking weird thing, but I can't help it. I've talked about this a lot, and every time I mention it, I say I've talked about this a lot. Because I just have a fear. No matter what game, if there's underwater, I either won't play it, or I just avoid it. Like in The Witcher 3, like in legitimately Ratchet and Clank, like even the new one. Okay, it's a thing that like the old Mario that was like the first 3D one couldn't handle it as a kid. For some reason, underwater just spooks me. That's why I wanted to do a series on it, because I felt like that would be funny, when No Man's Sky comes out, just be freaked out and just be searching the depths, kind of like Subnautica almost, which is a game I will never play.
Because it's water.
Yeah, I've watched people play that, but I could never do that. But and I had a series, and I think I had like one episode, and then that was around the time where we realized like there's nothing huge underwater. The creature size is not big at all, and that just adding large underwater creatures would make underwater worth it to me.
I know. That's all I was thinking was, man, if there's like an actual size whale or like a giant squid, that'd be gnarly.
Yeah, it could be clipping through the ground or whatever. I don't care. Okay, like just put it there. It could be,
which would be really cool for the next update if you could take a picture with your player model next to it.
Oh,
like
yes.
Scuba diver.
Yeah, I think I had a conversation with somebody
sweet.
about photo mode. If you'd be able to take a picture of yourself now, like
little selfies.
I would love that. Like
selfies.
Yeah, take like a squad photo, or whatever.
No Man's Sky thumbnails are already amazing, and they'd be even better with them.
See,
take squad selfies,
Yeah. and that would just open it up to so many more, like, people taking screenshots. I already take so many screenshots as it is.
Oh my gosh, dude. I know. I've got like 3 or 4 USBs at like 128 megs a piece, or gigs a piece. Megs. Wow, that's not that much. But gigs. Just full of untouched, unedited No Man's Sky screenshots.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
but yeah.
I think we were talking about PvP. We got through that. I think. I don't know. Yeah, just it's like a pointless mechanic if they add in PvP and there's
all
nothing
they needed was
to
co-op.
be gained. Yeah,
all it needs is co-op. That's it.
I mean, I kind of wonder if there's gonna be, since there is PvP, if there's gonna be like, if I'm in a squad with people, I can like go rogue and like destroy everything we've built. It's just like
that'd be great.
Yeah, just
as soon as you're done with everything
or something.
You just nuke our base.
Yeah.
Well.
Just go rogue.
It sounds like Fallout 76.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Just completely like we're all in a chat party. You have the voice chat or whatever, and I've got like a button like in the Division or whatever. I could go rogue, and then like I get disconnected from the voice chat, so they can't respond, and I'm just like blowing up everything, and I just take off in one direction, get my ship and like blast out to space. That would. I think we had a similar conversation. I talk to so many people, I just forget who I've had these conversations with. But if asteroids, like if there were like meteor showers when you're on planets, and you were like with a squad, and they're like, it's just like fires raining from the sky, and you're all like running in one direction, like that cool like storm based survival aspect, like actual
That'd
storms.
be cool.
Like the storms we have now are, I mean, I love
like hellacious storms.
yeah, I love rainstorms in No Man's Sky right now. But I wish like lightning, struck, instead of it just being a flash of light. I wish like, there's a lot of things I don't think they could do tornadoes or like serious stuff. I don't think they can be Just Cause 4 in No Man's Sky. Okay, Just Cause 4 with the tornadoes. I don't think they're gonna do that. By the way, super hyped for Just Cause 4. I love Just Cause 3, but I would love to see like waterfalls. I don't know if they'll ever be able to do that. Like waterfalls would just. I want to be able to build a base where I want to build a base.
Yeah, that would be really cool. That's one thing too. Is when I search for a base, I'll search and search and search for like the best overlook or like the best. Like some people do it like in a side of mountains, like on a cliff.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
But they're just kind of on this open area, which honestly I don't necessarily mind. Like I kind of like a big field and it just being in the center of it. But yeah, having that flexibility to place it in a certain location would be really cool.
Yeah.
And I think this is one thing too I really would like is like say there are waterfalls or like they do giant mountains and stuff like that. It'd be really cool to give landscapes names. Like if you like have a planet, right? Like you can like name certain locations like your own. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if there's like rivers or lakes, you can call it like lake, whatever you want. If that makes any sense at all. If there's just like really cool places to stumble on where it's like, man, like this is really cool, and you like, I don't know, take a picture of it and say like, this is Mount Rushmore, carve someone's face into it. But I don't know. It would just keep people running around on planets more.
Oh, you were talking about E3 planets.
Yes.
I feel like so right now, you can come across some crazy cool paradise planets, and that is possible, but they're nothing like what we've seen in the E3 trailers. I really want that planet that I come across that I want to revisit over and over and over again. Like, because you see those E3 planets, especially the trailer that I call the orange grass trailer, because it starts out with the orange grass, and you've got the one everybody talks about.
Not the best description, but everyone knows what exactly
about.
Exactly.
That, like, we only saw barely anything, and that planet looked like, when you look at a planet right now in No Man's Sky, you see the same thing in almost every area. The same couple of group trees here, the same couple of group trees over here. That looked just completely procedural, if you want to. Like, there was a lake, there was trees, everywhere. There was so much going on at once, and I think I called it, I can't remember, there was a term I gave all that was happening that I wish they added into the game, was just to make it more immersive, like to it was animal, I think it was just fauna interaction, I don't know, something like that, but like fauna doesn't interact with anything, they just run around in circles.
True. And if you don't feed it something, it just either runs away from you, straight away from you, or they just run towards you and try to attack you. Yeah. There's no middle ground. That's it.
Yep. And it's just all that, like the grass blowing, we have that now, but trees blowing, why can't we have that? Just, that would do so much for immersion, just to have trees blowing.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I never realized that the trees didn't blow.
It's one of those things. You just look at it, you're like, huh? This crazy ass storm is going on, and
until
the tree's just standing there like a brick.
Yeah, until people like went on about that Inside Xbox Shamari interview where the background was like, people are like, oh, maybe it's next gameplay or maybe it's E3 footage where the trees are blowing. And then I'm like, don't trees blow during storms? No, it's just the grass. But I think what it is the grass is moving so much that it just gives off the feel that everything is blowing. You're not paying attention. Or I'm not. Or I don't. I guess.
And then your screen blurs on,
on
the
edges.
And...
Yeah. So I never really focused on it. And then after that, I went and the recent.
Now you can't stop looking at trees.
Yeah. The recent time lapse video I did, the whole planet is storms, and I wanted to do one that was all storms. And I get to this planet, and I'm just nonstop, just staring at the trees. I'm like, how? How have I not noticed that these things look so unnatural? I don't know. I wish we could have moving trees. I mean, that's such a simple thing as far as like it's nothing huge that tons of people I'm sure are asking for. But just I don't know how hard something like that could be. I don't know much about programming or anything Hello Games is doing, but that would just take like the immersive level up a notch, and that's just a small thing. That has nothing to do with like creature animations or them interacting with each other or creatures going to drink water out of a water source or whatever. And like we also don't have we don't ever have creatures standing in water, like just standing in water. Like they're always
like
either
those
underwater.
in the E3 trailer.
Yeah, they're either underwater or they're not in water. Now I've seen one creature standing in water, and it was above water, and it was the largest gek-like creature I've ever seen.
Was it glitched out or something?
I don't think so. It was just chilling. I took a picture of one of those circle, the pools of water that are like completely circles.
Oh yeah, of course.
It was a huge one of those, and I was taking a picture, and I didn't even realize it until after the fact. I was looking at the picture, and there was just a gek, just like chilling, just standing in it. And I still have that picture, and I go and look at it. I'm like, why did I never even realize that?
It's one of those things. This game, with little tweaks, could make it feel so polished.
Yeah.
But it's so easy for us, being the fan base, to say that they're little tweaks when they could really be difficult to implement. But yeah, like trees blowing, creatures being able to, I don't know, interact with each other, maybe even interact with us in a way that's other than attacking or fleeing. Rivers and oceans, like waves, maybe some crashing waves, even if they're small. Oh, just so many things that you can think of that you just think are small, but could be really hard with such a huge universe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It can be very difficult to code into the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that kind of stuff.
None of us do. Yeah.
Nope.
We're just like, we want this would be cool, and then if it never comes, we just keep talking about it.
They're sitting over there reading all these comments like, oh, if only you knew how hard this was to do.
Yeah. They're like, there's a reason you can't sit in chairs and you can only spin them. It's so hard to code that.
It was so easy to code the spinning them, the sitting in them. Nope, exactly. Not today.
Maybe they're waiting for the player models so you can actually look like you're sitting in a chair.
Well, maybe since we're just an orb, we don't need to sit.
Or that.
We don't need to rest ever.
True, that's right.
We don't need rest or sleep.
That would make sense, I guess. That was the reveal. They were like, hey guys, you're orbs. That's why you can't sit in chairs.
Exactly.
That was the whole explanation. Not for the multiplayer, just so we knew why we can't sit down in chairs and only spin them. And now that we know we're only an orb, how are we holding a multi-tool?
Gravitational pull.
How are we spinning stools? We're just an orb. I don't understand. All right.
No.
I don't know. I think we should end it there. My recording says an hour, so I don't know how long it's gonna be.
That's perfect.
So, but
just talking about random stuff.
Yeah. Hey, I like that we talked about loot a lot because I don't think we really focused on that in my other ones. And you coming from Destiny and me playing Destiny, loot is like just a thing. That's the best.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I really like loot-based games so much.
Yeah.
Thinking about No Man's Sky and having loot just makes me, I don't know. See, like, I hope that other people don't think that when they listen to the way I speak about No Man's Sky, I love the game.
Right.
I've always loved the game. Well, okay, that's a lie.
Wow, okay.
I liked it a lot after 1.3. I dove straight back into it at 1.3. That's kind of the point where I started grinding the game again. But I don't know. I'm just hopeful for it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm hopeful for more. And I don't know. I hope that just doesn't come across like I'm super critical of the game because I honestly play it a lot. I mean, I know a lot of people have played it more than me, but I'm creeping up on 300 hours in normal mode, I think. And for me, that's a decent amount of time in a game because I don't play near as much as I used to, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't want wrong impressions. I love No Man's Sky.
Yeah, no, we're just here
passionate
to
about it.
Talk about cool things that may be added or probably won't be added.
I have a long wish list.
Yeah. We all have this hope for what may come, but somehow I doubt half of it will actually be there. At least in the next update, maybe in the future.
I don't mind it taking time.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I just want progressive steps that make me enjoy the game more. That's it.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, that has been it for the What's Next podcast. This is episode 4. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your comments for whatever. Hopefully this was shorter. Obviously it will be shorter, but hopefully it got to the 45-minute mark. So that should be good. I kind of screwed up the recording a bit here and there and started too early, so I'm not really sure what time it's going to end up. But, all right, I'm going to leave it there. Jsweet, tell them about your channel before we go. The link to his channel will be in the description as well if you want to check him out. But just let him know what you do on YouTube and stuff.
Cool. Well, obviously, since I'm here, I'm a big fan of No Man's Sky. I love No Man's Sky. Do a lot of screenshot videos, do a lot of Paradise Planet videos. Depending on what next brings to the game, could change the channel a whole lot on what I will be making in the future. But I do a lot of other games too. I play Monster Hunter, I play Destiny, play Fortnite. I'm doing a Detroit Become Human playthrough. I don't know. I like to play a lot of games, but No Man's Sky is definitely one of them. So feel free to stop by and just check it out and see what you think. I'm just hoping that next brings a lot more content to everybody. I'm looking forward to watching everybody's channels and seeing how it changes everything, you know?
For sure. I think everybody's going to have their different thing that they're going to focus on. And it's going to be cool because that allows the content creators to branch out instead of where we've been is everybody kind of talks about the same thing.
Exactly.
And then it's just like me trying to be funny about it, which is trying to separate from everybody else who's just like regular, which is how I used to be. So I'm trying to be funny about it now, so I like get separated a bit. Whether or not that works, I don't know. But anyway, thank you for coming on the show for sure. I will leave the link to Jsweet's Twitter and YouTube in the description. Do you have a Twitch, right?
Yes, yeah. I do. I stream on Twitch. Yes.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I'll leave his Twitch down there as well in the description. It'll probably be in the pinned comment because nobody reads the descriptions, unfortunately. All right, but I'm gonna leave it there. Man. Yeah, and hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, have a good one.